Prosecco is an extraordinary Italian sparkling wine that you need to know about for the holidays. How does it differ from champagne or even cava from Spain or sparkling wine from the US and Canada? We're going to explore all that and the differences, the nuances, everything else, the food pairings, all of that. So if you're just joining us right now, please let us know where you're logging in from, what wine is in your glass. It's okay if it's not Prosecco. Where you are, where you're shopping for the holidays. What are you looking for in sparkling wine, that kind of thing. So I am just going to refresh my browser. I'm trying to do two things at once here, which always confuses me. So I'm going to just refresh and see if we are live and everybody can hear me and all of that kind of thing, because Facebook tends to have these comments coming in after the fact. So anyway, we had a team tasting here today. It's still going on beyond those doors outside my office. 30 wine writers, bloggers, sommeliers are all tasting more than 22, count them, 22 Prosecco wines from Italy. I'm going to show you kind of the lineup because I put all of the wines in here. Hopefully I'm not making you seasick here, but look at the variety of wines. I went and I purchased them from the LCBO, the SAQ. Those are our two major liquor store chains here in Canada. And I think I got most of what we have on sale in this country. But again, I'm just going to refresh. Multitasking is not my strength. So I'm going to see if we have live people. Okay, so we have Sharon, we have Denise, and I am not seeing, comments. Okay, Gwen is here. Thank you, Gwen from Ottawa, and she is saying that she really likes the Astoria. So back to this Prosecco, very rich, very creamy texture. I bought this at the SAQ in Quebec. But look at that holiday bottle. I just think there's, I don't know, the whole gift packaging, gifting kind of thing at this time of year really does matter. It's not just surfaces. Let me show you one more from this winery, Astoria. They just have a knack for it. Look at this one. It's beautiful. It's another one of their Proseccos. So let's talk about Proseccos and how they differ from champagne or other sparkling wines. So first of all, of course, they're made in Italy. They're made in northern Italy in the Veneto region that, although it's north and cooler for Italy than most other regions like Piedmont, Tuscany, of course the south, Sicily, and so on, that region of Veneto is still warmer on average than Champagne. So what that means for the wine style is that you're going to get a fruitier, more forgiving wine, if you will, like more accessible, more generous kind of wine. Hello, Anne. Good to see you. And Lise is here. Hello, Miss Lise. And Lori, beautiful bottle. I agree, Lori. Thank you. So the difference is here. Prosecco is dealing with a warmer climate than Champagne. You need, though, overall a cooler climate to produce good sparkling wine. And that is because you want to maintain that freshness, that acidity that gives us that sort of mouth-watering juiciness up and down right here. I call it the Liberace scales, playing the piano up and down our appetite or our senses. It literally whets your appetite, gets the juices going. That's acidity, and that's what acidity does in Prosecco, in Champagne, in other sparkling wines, Cava, and so on. It's why they are also the most food-friendly of wines. They pair with just about anything. There's very few foods that will overwhelm a sparkling wine or that will clash, and the most difficult foods will pair well with sparkling wine. So think about egg dishes like quiche even, your mimosas, what do you put in mimosa? Orange juice. It's orange juice and sparkling wine. Your salmon, lox, and bagel. What else is tough? Artichoke, asparagus, all the wine killers, the wine stalkers, if you will. What else? Eggplant, all the toughies. They all really go well with sparkling wine, including Prosecco. So, anyway, sorry, my Facebook is just reacting very slowly tonight, so I'm trying to calibrate here. Paul is here from Virginia with Patty. Always good to have you back here, guys. So he's got a glass of Rhone Gigondas 2010. That's great wine. Smooth. Of course, Gigondas means Grenache for the blend. Very good. Terry is in from Calgary. He's sipping Beaujolais Nouveau. He's a week late, but that's okay. The wine will last, Terry. Looking forward to the Prosecco topic tonight. Great. Anne, aka Mommy Dearest, has saved some Prosecco for when I get there. So Mom is coming up soon in December for Christmas holidays. Yay! Can't wait. I've got Dr. L for you, Mom. So, Prosecco, what we've defined so far. It is from Italy. It is a sparkling wine. It has a warmer climate than Champagne. So the other thing about Prosecco is it's made, of course, from different grapes. It's made primarily from the Glera grape. So Glera, Glera. You won't have heard of that grape, or you might not be familiar with it unless you really know Italian wines. But that's the base of Prosecco. Whereas Champagne and many sparkling wines from Canada and the US, they're a blend, usually of Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. So we've got a difference there. The other difference, of course, when it comes to fermentation, is that both wines go through a secondary fermentation to trap those bubbles, but with Prosecco, it's done using the Charmat method. Charming, if you will, Charmat. That's done in a vat, so a much larger kind of surface and container, versus Champagne is done bottle by bottle. But they're all about trapping those bubbles into the wine. So as you know, when wine ferments, we have the grapes, which have the sugar, plus we add the yeast, equals, so sugar from grapes plus yeast equals, this is as much math as I do, CO2, bubbles, carbon dioxide, plus alcohol. And so when you're making sparkling wine, you want to trap the bubbles. So there's a couple of different methods for how you trap the bubbles. You can trap them in a big vat with the Charmat method that Prosecco uses, or you can trap them bottle by bottle, like Champagne does. The result is that in Prosecco, the bubbles are going to be a little larger, a little less persistent, lasting a little less longer. They will be not as effervescent. I always think about the difference between San Pellegrino and what's the other one? Perrier. So San Pellegrino to me has, this is getting kind of fussy, very bourgeois, but San Pellegrino has less aggressive bubbles. They're softer, they're smaller. Perrier has more of a hit on the bubbles and the acid and so on. So it's a matter of taste. I think of San Pellegrino like Prosecco and Perrier like Champagne. That's not to say Champagne is more aggressive or less refined or anything like that. But I'm just saying that the bubbles and the whole effervescence thing that's going on in a Prosecco is a bit smaller, and it's a result of the climate and the method. Okay, so let's look into the comments before I continue off in my own world. Okay, Lori says, in Veneto, that's the primary region that produces Prosecco, many house wines are Prosecco. Yes, Lori, but they call it Glera because a lot of the time it comes from a pressurized keg. That's a really interesting fact, Lori. Thank you for sharing that. Dave, who just got married. Hope it's all still holding together for you, Dave. So he says Claire and I good. Claire and I are drinking Xavier Côte de Rhone. So we got a lot of Rhone going on. Astoria is in the fridge, cooling. Excellent, Dave. I'm glad to hear that. And these comments are not showing unless I really click on them. So bear with me, folks. I am learning and perfecting the technology as best I can every week. I want to get better at this, more responsive, and all the rest of it. So let me tell you about the Proseccos, because this afternoon I was tasting them with my team, spitting of course, but I've tasted through about 22 of them as I've shown you here. What I also enjoy about Prosecco is it's low alcohol, so it's only about 11%, which is amazing, and I love that. Kimberly has joined us. Cam and I from Conestoga, Ontario, are drinking Luigi Bosca Malbec. Terrific, from Argentina, 2013 vintage, very good vintage. Lise, Riesling, according to a bottle of 30 bench Riesling, I am drinking tonight. So that's a continuation of a sentence I don't remember, Lise, if you want to remind me. Okay, so these two pretty bottles, let's deal with the pretty ones. So this was from the SAQ in Quebec. This one might have been from the SAQ too, because I went on a buying spree to see what I could pick up and buy from the SAQ in Ontario to have the widest selection possible for you tonight. So these may have both come from the SAQ. Anyway, this came out only on Thursday for the holidays. As you can see, it's that lovely cut glass, beautiful. And I really love this. It had a really creamy texture, like very mousse, very voluptuous. I don't know, there's something about sparkling wines that goes beyond pure flavors. It's about a mouthfeel and a self feel. Like it's how it makes you feel. It's the emotion of the moment. And it's just celebratory. You can't help but feel like you're in the holiday fever and festive feeling when you open these. So this one I like the best, not just because of the pretty bottle, but because of the creamy texture. And this one was very lovely, very, very lovely, and another terrific bottle. So let's put those aside. Let me bring up some new ones here. Okay. And I will refresh. Facebook continues to do really weird things, making this very strange. Anyway, that's okay. That's not your issue. Okay. But I can't believe every week we seem to be growing in leaps and bounds with everybody, please take a moment and hit share. And the reason is that you will let everybody who is connected with you know that we're here live, so they can join us, or they can watch the replay, or they can join us next week. So you're doing them a favor, not just me. So hit the share button and the like button, and then take another sip. Okay, so I've got two more here. So we've got Bottega Poeti. Some of the most beautiful bottles and names are occurring with these Proseccos. Someone's got a creative vibe, but I guess from the people who produce Versace, Ferrari, Dolce & Gabbana, of course you're going to get this beauty in execution and design. A terrific Prosecco comes from Ruffino. You may know them as the people who produce very robust red wines, and very vibrant white wines, Soave and so on. But their reds are heavy hitters. But they also do this lovely Prosecco that's just now available in the LCBO. It's also in the SAQ. But we've got, again, all of these Proseccos I am rating tonight, if I was to look at just the group, between 87, and some are reaching up to 91-ish. And yet they all have such distinct advantages. 11% alcohol, packed with flavor, and yet average $20, if that. So a fraction of the price of champagne. let's keep going. Let me bring out what I call the blues. The blues. Again, gorgeous bottling. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So this is Fosse Marais, and this is Blue Giovelo. So, again, Prosecco. Let's talk about the pressure difference. The reason why the bubbles are a little bit different from what you're going to find in Champagne. So because Prosecco is fermented in those open vats, the pressure isn't as tight and intense as it would be on Champagne, which is done bottle by bottle. So the pressure in a Champagne bottle is equal to 5 to 6 atmospheres. That probably means nothing until I equate it to, that's the pressure inside city bus tires. So you see those city bus transit buses? That's the pressure in those big tires. So 5 to 6 atmospheres. Prosecco, by comparison, has about 2 to 4 atmospheres of pressure, so about half. Still a lot of pressure. So the difference is that you'll find that a Champagne cork, you gotta really kind of hold on to it because it could take out an eye or a Christmas tree ornament or whatever. But Prosecco doesn't release as quickly or on its own quite as much. So let me refresh. So who has got a favorite Prosecco? I would love to know what Proseccos you've tried lately. You might not be drinking them right now, but what have you tried that you have absolutely loved and thought was a deal? So Dave says we have the gold one. We have the gold one. Okay, good. The gold what? Maybe a Bottega? Oh, the Bottega has a pure gold bottle, doesn't it? Looks almost like the Ace of Spades that one of the rappers sponsors after he got really cross with the champagne. Anyway, Sam from BC, who is a wine instructor, thank you, Sam, for joining us. He says the best bubbles he's had in a long time was a special small lot project called JY. This is a Pinot Noir ancient method or traditional method sparkling wine produced by Okanagan Crush Pad in Summerland, BC. Very interesting. They make the Haywire series, among others, and I'm going to see more for what Sam is saying because Sam really knows his stuff. The JY was made by sommelier Jason I'm gonna murder this name, Yamaski, as part of the Wine Campus program, where some of the year, gets to make a small lot wine of their choosing, and profits go to the BC Hospitality Foundation. That sounds like a great project, Sam. Really great. Tara says, did you say Prosecco is all the Charmat method? To my knowledge, Tara, it is the Charmat, the VAT method. Now, someone can correct me, or there are always exceptions of people doing different methods and different treatments. But generally, to my knowledge, most Prosecco is using the Charmat method. And is sugar added for a secondary fermentation? Now that's a good question. I wonder if Malcolm from Niagara is here tonight to answer our sticky questions. Or is it the sugar from the grapes that are triggered by the yeast addition? That is an excellent question. So do they add a dosage, if you will, sugar, grape must, to kickstart that second fermentation that produces the bubbles in the bottle? You know what? That is something that is not coming immediately to mind. So I never pretend to have all the answers, but I know the group does. So if you know that, jump in and comment. If you've just joined us, please let us know where you're logging in from, what's in your glass. It's okay if it's not Prosecco. That's what we're talking about tonight, the Italian sparkling wine, because we are getting ready for our Christmas holidays, or holidays, I should say. So let me refresh, and I am going to get you some more Prosecco. The bottles on these are just glorious, I must say. So tonight, look at this. Look at that. The geometry of it. What is that? Levia. Yeah, Levia. That's appropriate, isn't it? really, really great. This came from the SAQ, and then we have Giavi, probably terribly massacring these names. Kimberly, just tried fuel recommended by a friend and quite enjoyed it. Kimberly, you're right on trend. Now, I do have the fuel here. Let's see. I think this is the fuel that Kimberly is talking about. You can chime in and tell me, Kimberly, if I'm right. Beautiful Prosecco. Again, fresh, crisp, etc. Dave, did you saber any of the bottles? No, Dave. That would not be safe at this time of the night. No, we opened all of the bottles today, mid to late afternoon, and we've all been tasting. As I said, there's 30 people outside these doors still tasting. Troopers all. But yeah, no, we pulled corks today. I don't have the insurance for that. Okay, let's pull 2 more here. And let me take these. Okay, so anyway, you know what? I didn't run into a bad or just boring even Prosecco in the bunch. So you're going to find all my reviews and those of my team, 30 reviewers, on the site by tomorrow. You'll see what our favorites were, and I guarantee you'll find several that will be available in your local liquor store no matter where you are, and you'll love it, and you will want to stock up for the holidays, because do we really need to spend more money than necessary for pleasure? No. Okay. Now, let me refresh here. Again, I can get going in my own world, and then I need to resurface and say, hold on, people might be trying to interact with you. Okay, yes, they are. The comments. Okay, so Lee says, I really like the Hinterland Method Rosé. That's from Prince Edward County, right, Lise? Correct me. And also the Henry of Pelham Catherine Rosé Brew. Beautiful. I like the ones that are dry but smell like field strawberries. That is a beautiful way to put it, Lise. And Kimberly says, yes! Exclamation mark. So don't remember what you're yesing to, but that's okay. Sam, if I heard the question correctly, no, there is no dosage in Prosecco, so they're not adding sugar or grape must. Thank you, Sam. In the Charmat or tank method, CO2 is injected into the tank of the wine. Thank you, Sam, for clarifying that. And Tara says, thank you, Sam. All right, everybody, hashtag thank you, Sam. So this is Nino Franco. This is the handy little convenient half bottle. I love when wines come in this size because you can start off a meal with just a glass each, or if you're on your own for a night and you're watching The Blacklist or whatever you're watching, Stranger Things, who's watching what? This is your friend. Of course, this comes in the 750 ml, the full bottle size for convenience. Okay, so this is Villa Sandy, and just lovely. We tried this one tonight too. Again, we didn't really run into a bad one. I would still love, though, to hear from somebody in the comments about their absolute favorite Prosecco. Or did you have a really memorable moment with Prosecco? Where were you? Who were you with? You can blur out the names. What were you eating? Why was it memorable? But let's talk about memories, because to me, wine, especially sparkling wine, is all about the memories. Let me get a couple more for you back here. So, we have got, this is a popular brand called, again, I probably am going to wreck the name, but Mayanetto. So we have Mayanetto Dark and Mayanetto Orange. That's not their official names, but Mayanetto. Again, we're talking about 15, 18 bucks, dry, sparkly, refreshing. So when you're having large holiday parties, why wouldn't you go with this option, right? Anyway, I just think it's a terrific way to go, especially since people aren't that fussy. I mean, you know, if you're celebrating at home, you want to have something special, sure. But I think these are terrific Terrific bubblies. And I don't know, I just love the packaging again. I guess I'm a sucker for packaging. But I love fashion, so that's what happens. I want to show you all of the wines that we've been trying tonight so that you don't miss any, just because we had such a range. Okay, so Lee says Prince Edward County, yes. For Hinterland, the bubbly from Hinterland. Lee's, the last time we had some, we saw an asteroid light show from the hot tub. Oh, can you imagine this? Lise has just evoked a seminal memory. So she was drinking her sparkling wine and she was watching an asteroid light show from her hot tub while watching flashing shooting stars. Oh my gosh, Lise, that's so beautiful. Really. Okay. So this one's a really popular one. It comes up and it's a beautiful bottle. Tenuta S, or initial S, Anna Prosecco. And here we've got Fentanyl One and Only. So pretty, so lovely, and again, so reasonably priced. I still want to show you some more. Let's see. Again, all the tasting notes will be here, but Torresella and Valdoca. I love the old-fashioned sort of rip bottle thing here, and then more of the modern distinctive label here. What else have we got? We still have more. Here we go. I just want to be able to show you these. Santinello and the Independent. You always like Independents, right? Are any of these ringing bells for you? Have you tried them? And I still have a couple that I should still show you. I think these may be the last two that I want to show you bottle-wise. Santa Margarita, big seller, but that doesn't mean it's not well made. It's very well made. Creamy and great texture. Again, another big producer, Zonen. But these guys are so consistent. And consistency and great taste, they count for a lot. You know, you can depend on them when you're having a party. All right, so I have just talked so much without tasting. I would really love to hear from you, so I'm going to refresh this. I'm also thinking that with these tastings, because I've been looking at the statistics, and we have a growing number of people every week, and it's really, I love it. So I want to keep going. I love, we're consistent, we're getting into a groove, but I'm thinking maybe I'm going to aim for 35 minutes, 40 max, if there are a lot of questions. If they're not, cut it off, end it at 35, because I just don't want to keep everybody. Now I know you can watch the video replay, it's your choice to tune in, tune out, but do you have any thoughts on that? I just keep going because I feel like I want to stay here for people who have questions, but I can jump in after the fact and answer questions. Okay, so, that's always an option. Tom Frederick says, so which team will be having bubbles when the Grey Cup is done? Oh, good question, Tom. Ottawa or Calgary? Okay, you're asking a gal who lives in Ottawa, so totally unfair, totally biased. Does anybody have the score of the game? I would love to know. Not that I'm a football fan, but, Ottawa, go, Red Blacks. Red Blacks? Black Reds? Red Blacks. Gwen, oh yeah, RV, yeah, Red Blacks, go Ottawa, go. Yes, see, I can be sporty. Lise, anyone drinking fuel? What's it like? So fuel, the one I was showing earlier, Lise, with most Proseccos, you're going to get a nice layer of effervescence, which is always, that swarm of bubbles is always refreshing. You're going to get fruitiness. The main difference I find between Prosecco and, say, Cava and Champagne, the Cava and Champagne are more earthy, dusty, whatever. Prosecco is all about fresh orchard fruit, so white peach and apple, green apple, and all of that. So beautiful, mouth-watering, but very different in character. So again, if you just joined us, click share, click like, join the comments, just tell us where you're logging in from, what's in your glass tonight. We're talking about Prosecco, the Italian sparkling wine. Now, let me just refresh, because I am going to refresh myself with finally, I can't believe I do wine tastings and hardly get to actually tasting the wine. But I want to give you guys so much information and make it worth your while and educational, and I know you all are sipping and watching, and so that's not stopping you. Anyway, so there you have it. Let's see. Gwen says, kickoff is at 6:30. Nat on iPhone, pre-game on TV. Oh, in the background, great, Gwen. James from Toronto, always cooking when you go live. Yes, that's what I'm intending, that I am your pre-game, your pre-dinner show. You've got me on the counter, on your iPhone, on your Android device, your iPad. Just sit me up there like Patty and Paul do in Virginia. I can be a talking head at your table. You don't even have to carry the conversation. I'll just talk you through it. Anyway, so making classic chicken a la king. Ooh, drinking my house wine, Cusimano Nero d'Avola. Oh, so that is a rich, luscious red wine from southern Italy. We're up in Veneto with Prosecco, but James is down in southern Italy having his chicken a la king. Good match, James. James, do you like any Proseccos? Do tell, please. That's the first sip I've taken. Okay, let me refresh. So, we are heading into the end game. Would that be a term they say in football? I am so not sporty, but I'll try to be in the spirit of things here. Not say things like, how many innings in a football game? I know that's not right. Okay, James, I wish I had some Prosecco. We wish you had some Prosecco too, James. Question though, James, is there Prosecco that you loved? So what else do you need to know about Prosecco? I will post some links about the basic differences. Not so basic, but actually some interesting facts about the differences between Prosecco and Champagne. Some really interesting narrative and where to go if you're visiting Prosecco. This, what else? Innovative and different food pairings that you would have never thought about. We will put links into the show notes on those. And Sam is saying, Dave is saying, what Canadian sparkling wine do I like? I absolutely adore Cuvée Catherine Rosé. So that's from the Henry of Pelham winery, and I have loved this and professed my love for this wine for like 15 years. It is superb. So it leads with Pinot Noir, thus the rosé nature in color and flavor, but there's nothing like it in my mind for sparkling wine. Another one I would give a call out to is in BC, Blue Mountain. Again, the rosé. Yes, please. And the final call out I would give is to Benjamin Bridge in Nova Scotia, rosé. I'm a rosé gal. I love the robust nature of rosé, the Pinot Noir lead, the extra oomph that you get from rosé. And so that's where I land. In Champagne too. The rosés I love, or the champagnes I love, are all rosés, Billy Cart salmon, and so on. So, hope that answers your question. Sam, Villa Teresa is not too bad. So he's giving his assessment of that. And I am going to wrap up soon. So does anyone have any concluding comments? We are rocking here. James has not tried any specific Proseccos, but he does like them. Good man. Lise says, I want to know about the Canadian stuff. I admit I'm a tree hugger and want to reduce my carbon footprint. See, Lise, that's a good point. So you don't have to transport Canadian wines as far. So the focus of this is Prosecco, but I will also post my favorite Canadian bubblies because you're requesting them, and we should have a session just dedicated to that. So let me wrap up on Prosecco, just saying that as we approach the holidays, it's a great value. It tastes really good. It will please the palates of just about everybody at your party or your dinner party. It goes with just about every food you can imagine, including the most difficult food matches. And it's just something you should experiment with. There's some beautiful packaging as a gift wine. You know, what more can I say? People, try it. I am going to jump into the comments after this airs. You can be watching the replay. You can still comment. I will jump in and answer or reply or like everything. I'm doing one more refresh, and then I'm going to go out to my peeps outside who are doing the tasting still. And wow, our numbers are just growing every week. It's really amazing. I love this. I so enjoy this, just getting together with you every Sunday night. So thank you for making this part of your Sunday routine, whether you're cooking, as James is in Toronto, whether you're eating or dining, as Patty and Paul are in Virginia, or the rest of you, whatever you're up to, sipping, whatever. I appreciate it. And I think I've got a couple of topics I've got in mind for future. I would really love to tackle Austrian wines, but also some more holiday topics. So in the comments below, let me know what it is you'd like us to tackle in the upcoming Sunday Sipper Club sessions, because I do listen and I do respond, and I take your suggestions to heart for upcoming topics. So thank you, and I will see you next Sunday. Cheers.